Hi, guys, and thanks for checking in with a touch of the Master's Hand horsemanship. You know, the first principle is the very foundation for the touch of the Master's Hand horsemanship. And that's found in John chapter 6 and verse 44. Jesus is speaking. He says, "No one can come to me unless the Father in heaven draws him to me." Elliot here is using that principle, drawing that horse's thought rather than driving the horse's feet. And of course, then the next principle we find in 2 Corinthians 10:3, 4, and 5 is take every thought captive. Take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. Here we start to put on the halter, and obviously the horse gets more distracted, more anxiety, more worry, and that's natural from the way that they've been handled in the past by many humans. It means they're losing control. And so that anxiety comes up. So we have to take that thought captive. And Elliot does a good job of not forcing it, but taking that thought captive and making it obedient to Christ. So we see that a horse's anxiety and worry goes up as you put on the halter, as you put on the saddle, as you put on the bridle, because the human becomes less clear and less consistent. And so it just is compounding the worry, and you have to get that horse's mind so that you change the mind, change the way they feel, and change then how they respond. But I've said over and over, it really comes down to Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him. He'll direct your path. To get the horse's confidence, the trust at that level that they will let go of their own understanding and their own past of the way they've been treated, the way they've been worked with, it's huge for them to let go of their own understanding of the human and the things that humans have done to that horse. And to let go of that, lean not on their own understanding, but in all their ways acknowledge us so we can direct their path. That's a huge jump. It's got to take trust, which leads to submission rather than conformity. And so one of the issues that we oftentimes see is the fact that we just kind of get by. I mean, you get on the horse and you go to riding and something goes not the way you want it to, and the first thing that people do is pull on the reins instead of giving that horse the freedom to work through things and not pulling on the reins, but trying to direct their thought, get their thought with you. And that will change everything. Change how they think, change how they feel, change how they respond. How long has it been since you pinned their ears and took a little U-turn? So let God change the way you think. And that will change how you feel about it. And that will change your response to it. So I'll pick up this right rein now, and she really struggles with it. See how she is? She's looking to the left, even though she's coming to the right. And I'm just hanging right in there. I'm not it, but I'm not letting go of it either. I'm putting just enough of a feel that pretty soon I'm in hopes that she will think about going to the right. And when she does, I'm going to let go. But as long as she's thinking to the left, even though she's coming to the right, there. Did you see it? Her head kind of started to come around. She's got a softness. There. Just a little. Just an ounce. She's really struggling. Now I'm just going to leave her alone. But I'm going to say, let's keep walking. And she's going to choose to the left every time. But see, she's not pinning her ears and swishing her tail and making those little U-turn things. Because this, she feels good about. Now, I'm not forcing anything about this deal. I'm saying, hey, could you think to the right? No pinning of the ears, no swishing of the tail. But I'm not forcing her either. Freedom of will. There's got to be a freedom of choice in it if the relationship is going to move past conformity to submission. But I'm going to hang in there and I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to say, no, you can't go to the left. But I didn't force her. How long have I sat here and waited for her to make it to the right? A long time. But going to the left ain't going to work. Now I'm going to ask her to stop. I'm going to try to come around here where you can see the rain. Slowing. Look how loose that left rein is. There. Took her that long to find a stop. She stopped. I didn't make her stop. Now I'm going to ask for her back. That didn't take much. Because pretty soon the thought will be so strong, her feet might go 3 or 4 times. Like that. And then I might be able to pick up the rein and say, hey, have a thought around here to the right. I'm just going to say you can't stop there. Now how much did I do with my feet? I didn't do anything with my feet. But I'm using the calf of my leg to go with the swing of her rib cage. So here she's straightening out, thinking I'll stop, and I just increase the swing of my leg to encourage her swing in her rib cage. That's good. She likes the leg. She's looking to do us there, but man, that was a nice there. Real nice. I'm gonna get that good. That was better. Still pretty stiff, but so I'm just looking for her to think about coming to the right instead of looking off to the left and coming. I'm not going to take this conformity because this is not good for our relationship. Conformity will lead frustration, irritation, abandonment. But if there's desire, there was a try. So I let her have it and then she went right back to the left. Let her try. You can do better. Better. There. I'm going to let her have it. Now I'm going to ask her to stop. She's traveling pretty far. But there it is. And then we can back up. Still, I felt something move. Like I was supposed to go forward. I said, no. I was asking for a backup. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I know. What a girl. Thoughts? Questions? That's a transformation. But see, I'm only taking up to one ring. Because I don't care about stopping her feet or directing her feet. I want to direct her thought. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, anyone who belongs to Christ is a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. Doesn't mean that in this horse's first ride of relaxation, everything's going to be perfect. It's not about perfection, but it is about direction. It is about changing the mind. Then it changes everything. Change is possible. This means more to me when I get off than the whole ride. Because if I get done riding and all they do is want to run to the gate to escape, I know it didn't feel good. But if I got this, you said this morning, we've earned the trust. So now the scary thing is, now that you've earned her trust, don't violate it. Trust is the strongest of all bonds, but it's also the most fragile. With one time of lying or cheating, you broke all trust. That's a pretty good girl. Well, that's a real good place to stop unless you want to ride her. Let's give her a break and work on the road a little bit. Okay. Trust is the strongest of all bonds, but it's also the most fragile. When you get trust, don't violate it in any relationship.